My name is Terri Runnalls, and I'm the Director of Education and Outreach at Western Canada Theatre. I sort of divided into two sections. So the first part of my job is teaching, which is the best part of my job. So that's a lot of the youth programming in stage one and then the adult programming in next stage. The other half of my job is a lot of outreach in the community, and a lot of that is attached to the shows we do. So I would be involved in the tea matinees, I would be involved in the backstage tours, I would be involved in the student matinees, creating the study guides, pizza night, so kind of enhancing the experience that already exists going to a show, but making it a little bit better. I was really lucky because early on I had a wonderful relationship with David Ross. And so when I went to, at the time it was University College of the Caribou, and I had a wonderful instructor who started devising these discussions with David Ross, Lanny McInnes, Janet Michael, and Ginny Ratsoy was a big part of that too, because she was in the English department at the time. And her and a wonderful professor named Jim Hoffman was really interested in how theatre affected the Kamloops region. And so he created this wonderful panel that had Western Canada Theatre on it, some English professors, and then some students at the time. And so I got to meet and chat with David Ross, and I met him that way. And then he was like, we should talk and share some ideas. And then I was lucky enough to be cast by him in my first professional show soon after that, Witness for the Prosecution. And he was in that show as an actor. So was Janet, and then Lanny directed it. I kind of met them through that professor at university, and then we just really hit it off. From then, David was a mentor for myself personally and a company that I ran on my own. My company was called Saucy Fops, and he was the one that first went, have you heard of The Fringe? You know, so he kind of set us out, because we were doing kind of sketch comedy, and he said, this kind of works. So he sent us out on tour, and then he said, well, maybe if we do a little more workshopping, we can get you into the series. And we were so incredibly awestruck, because we were like, I can't believe you think we're worthy of that, because that's like people buying, you know, it's in the season ticket holders, you know, to come and see us. So that was really great. And then, yeah, he just kind of was always there. He hired that company to be a part of the Pavilion series 3 times, which was really great. And so I just kind of was around him a lot. And then I was like, I need to get into that company. And then I volunteered a bit, and then I was hired as a teacher just for a summer program. They said, we need help as an assistant, and that's when I first started teaching in stage 1. I did that for like a year or 2. And then there was an opening for facility manager, and I said, I'm gonna get in there. And then was in 2010, yeah. Obviously, you know, stage 1 means the world to me, because it's not just a training ground for actors or for kids that wanna get into theater in other aspects, but just a place that kids can be that feels safe. Like, it's really great to know that you have a summer program where there's lots of kids that wanna be here in Kelson, because it's a good place to be. And it's fun to be here, but it's also awesome and inspiring and educational, and they meet a lot of friends here, you know, so super proud of that, yeah. And even if you're not going to be a student of theater, the transferable skills are everywhere. You use them every single day in every single way. So the adult classes, I always say, you could be here because you still want to be an actor, but you could also be here because you want to be able to ask for a raise. It's really cool because at stage 1, we have a lot of students that have returned to become assistants or teachers. Absolutely fills my bucket, because it's like, oh, you want to still be here and I still get to be with you, but now it's your turn to teach them about theater, but also, you know, to give them that same, I hope, inspiration that they had and passing it on down the line. So that's always so great when I get to see someone move up, what we kind of jokingly call stage 2. We often say this in stage 1 is that I say we have 3 jobs when I talk to my instructors. The first job is to make sure kids have a safe space. The stories that can happen from children when you allow them to be who they are is off the charts. The second thing I always say is to have fun. And the third thing, we teach them theater fundamentals. You know, we'll teach them body and movement and voice and all those lovely things. But really what we teach them is just to be themselves. So I would say that's at the core of what we do, absolutely. My name is Terri Runnalls, and my Western Canada Theatre is watching children explore who they are and being able to express themselves in front of others.